What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. So the least you can possibly do when you catastrophically something up is to apologize, right? So first thing you gotta do. You learn this as a husband, right? You learn this as basically a good person, right? You just apologize. And then lowers the temperature and so on, right? However, if instead of apologizing for your catastrophic F-up, let's say you decide to nuke a town, okay, with chemicals that poison their water and their land and their air. Sweet little town in the Midwest, okay, has seen better days, already been destroyed by outsourcing of all of their industry to China and Mexico. But hey, listen, at least people there are still living, and then you nuke their town. Let's say that town's called East Palestine, right? For the sake of the metaphor here. And you did that to them, and it took you 400 days to go there in the middle of a blizzard and to mumble through a pseudo apology. Well, let's just say that people probably wouldn't greet you happily. And this is exactly how people greeted Joe Biden when he went rolling through town. Middle of a blizzard here. Very cold. People with the FJB flags flying as Joe Biden rolls through town. So there's the F. Joe Biden flags. There's the beast. And there's your freedom of speech right there, baby. We still live in a country where you can do this. Thank God. And seriously, if anybody has the right to say F. Joe Biden, it is indeed these people. East Palestine is a sweet little town in the heart of Ohio, and it's also a town that represents a lot of Ohio because Ohio doesn't like Joe Biden. Ohio votes by 10 points for Donald Trump and is getting redder, and that's a very, very good thing. But it may not even get a chance to vote for Joe Biden, which I think many of the people of Ohio might like. Okay, why even do that? And it's not because they're suing Joe Biden like the Marxists on the left. It's actually because Joe Biden is stupid and may not qualify for the ballot in time. This is a wild story, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden may not be on the Ohio ballot. Ohio used to be a swing state, now a pretty consistently red state, especially in the Trump era. Biden could be left off Ohio presidential ballot, state election officials warn. Oh, God. Look at what a disease. Look what a corpse this guy. I mean, such a diseased crypt keeper. Look at this guy. Look at his hair. Look at that. Look at those new hair plugs. This new hair they shoved into Joe Biden's head. Look at that. Look at that wig. I've seen more convincing and better kept wigs on the blue-haired lady playing mahjong in hospice. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's read here. Joe Biden is at risk of being left off the Ohio presidential ballot in November because the nomination of Democratic Party standard bearer won't be certified until after the state's ballot deadline. A state official has warned this week. Under Ohio, why warn him? Why warn him? Just let him walk. Under Ohio law, presidential candidates must be certified by August 7th, 90 days before the general election, but Biden will not be formally confirmed until August 19th. That means that the ballots will be printed and certified, and Joe Biden will not be on them. The Ohio Secretary of State, which oversees elections in the Buckeye State, warned the Ohio Democratic Party on Friday that it risks being left off the ballot. Well, that would actually be a blessing for many. Can we do this around the country? Please contact me as soon as possible with any information that can assure a timely compliance with Ohio laws. I'm left to conclude that the DNC must either move up its nominating convention or Ohio General Assembly must act. Ohio is a dark red state, so why the rush? Turnabout fair play, right? The logistics involved in moving up the DNC dates make that option seem highly unlikely. The only other alternative for Biden getting on the ballot would be for the Republican state-controlled legislature to change the election laws. We're looking into the matter, said the Ohio Democrat Party. We're monitoring the situation, confident that the ballot analysis state. Look at this. This is the greatest evil in America right here. Ladies and gentlemen, greatest evil in America. The mail-in ballot. Similar scenario played out in 2020. Both Republican and Democrat conventions were scheduled after the ballot deadline, leading lawmakers to approve a one-time change, but they haven't approved anything for this election. So, great. This will be very, very interesting. Also a huge Senate race in Ohio, so this could have profound effects, right? The fate of the Senate rests in Ohio, where a deeply unpopular Ohio senator, who's a real piece of work, named Sherrod Brown, is running and should lose in this red state, but we'll see. Here's how local Ohio news is covering this.
Prevent President Joe Biden from appearing on the ballot this November. Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose sent a letter to Democratic officials saying the Democratic National Convention is scheduled for August 19th. That's more than a week after the state's August 7th deadline to certify a presidential candidate to the office. If the DNC does not move up its nominating convention, the state legislature has until May 9th to create an exception to the requirement outlined.
I mean, the polls aren't looking good. Donald Trump's up by 5 points here in the new New York Times poll. Oh boy. Yikes. And that doesn't include RFK on the ballot, which also takes another like 15 points from Joe Biden. Trump leads Biden by 2 points, winning Hispanics and young voters in first poll of 2024. 17% say they will vote for a third candidate. Not good for Joe Biden. Trump wipes out Biden's lead with Latino voters in 2024, according to CNBC, and it just keeps going, baby. Check this out. This is one of my favorites ever. Harry Enton is visibly stunned by how bad Joe Biden is doing with minority voters, which make up a considerable portion, actually, of the Ohio electorate.
Down by race, right? Let's look at voters of color, look at white voters. And what we see here is back in 2020, according to the exit poll, Joe Biden won voters of color in Michigan by 62 points. Look at that advantage today. It has been sliced by a third, only 21 points. That's Joe Biden's lead over Donald Trump among voters of color. Among white voters, Donald Trump has gained a little bit of steam as well. It was 11 points in 2020. His margin over Joe Biden right now is 16 points. But this decline in support for Joe Biden among voters of color in Michigan is something we've been seeing in state after state after state and nationally as well, where he's got some big problems. This is a historic low amount of support for a Democratic presidential candidate among voters of color, and it seems to be happening across the board.
So what does the black leader of the Democrats in the House say, a guy named Hakeem Jeffries, when asked about these dismal poll numbers?
This New York Times Siena College poll that found that both black and Hispanic voters say that Donald Trump's policies have helped them more than Joe Biden's policies by pretty wide margins, especially when you look at Hispanic voters. Is that alarming to you, that nothing that the Biden campaign has said or done to this point has brought that at least closer than it is right now in this polling?
The Biden administration has an incredible track record of support and making sure that it is working at all times to build an economy from the middle out and the bottom up as opposed to the top down.
Oh my God, these people, you can't even stand them. They are Woody from Toy Story. You pull the cord on Woody. Somebody's poisoned the water hole. Just spit out the talking point. Give me talking point. I talking point. That's it. They're just programmed. Donald Trump beats Joe Biden among young voters. Young voters are breaking for Trump. Young voters are not warming up to Biden. Trump will win again. Young voters like that because young voters want a better economy. Life's tough out there, okay? So will Joe Biden be on the ballot? It'd be amazing if Joe Biden didn't actually make it onto the ballot. And a lot of people would really like that, including the people of East Palestine. Mother's message to Biden: don't use my village as a campaign stop. Just help me find a new home after toxic chemical spills hurt her family. 1 year too late, Biden will finally visit East Palestine 12 months after toxic train derailment. Got to tell you, the mayor of East Palestine, one of my favorite mayors in America.
Weeks ago, the East Palestine mayor released a statement about this possibly happened. The president is always welcome to our town, he said. That being said, I don't know what he would do here now. We're going on a year and nothing from the White House. The best time for him to come would be February of 2025 when he's on his book tour. Kelly Saberi of Fox Business caught up with him after the news today. Take a listen.
I wrote a letter to him about a month ago, saying that, I think he needed to come. And I was gracious in the letter. I think he needs to see what's going on here.
Do you still stand by that comment about the book tour?
100% stand by the comment about the book tour. I think that's the best time for him personally is, his Joe Biden. That's the best time for Joe Biden to come. I think the best time for him to come would have been whenever this happened.
Biden insists he's too busy to visit site of Ohio train derailment, despite record of vacations. Joe Biden has been on vacation far more than any president in history. Biden spends 40% of his time at the beach on vacation. That's right. Probably to get some of these shoved into his head, right? There you go. Got to play some mahjong. Mahjong. Yeah. You know who was there handing out MAGA hats at McDonald's? Was Trump. Look at the people. They're emotional. They love Trump. Trump gives them hope. Trump showed up, I think, within a matter of weeks. I don't know the exact timeline, but I knew it was very, very soon. I know because we went to East Palestine. And Donald Trump showed up and just greeted these people and gave them hope. It was really special. Visiting residents within a couple of weeks, I think it was 4 weeks exactly, Donald Trump stepped up and went to the local McDonald's, bought everyone hamburgers, and it's just a stand-up dude, Just a stand-up dude. Hard to hate the guy. Very easy to hate somebody who says they have no time to go visit the site of the disaster that they created when they spend 40% of their time on vacation. What a piece of garbage. Joe Biden is the worst. And America, we don't deserve that. So be smart, right? Be freedom-minded. You don't have to vote Republican. Just don't vote for Joe Biden, right? Just don't vote for Joe Biden. Don't. That's like an insult to our country. An insult to these sweet people in Ohio. And if Joe Biden's not on the ballot in Ohio because the stupid DNC can't get their act together, then you know what? Them's the breaks. It's your boy Benny. Subscribe to our channel for more good news.